Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Gopi Chanavanga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So just wanted to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about the process of Krishna consciousness. Maybe you have the translation.
Somebody needs translation because Hindi अनुवाद ही only one
otherwise half only will be able to hear.
महाराज जी हिंदी आता
अगर हिंदी चाहिए तो यहाँ आ जाइए।
जिसको हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन पीछे हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन और बात हो जाएगा।
बच्ची इधर आ जाइए।
वहाँ बैठे हैं।
आइए।
So Rupa Goswami has described the whole process of Krishna consciousness for us, and he describes how in the beginning there should be faith, right? Adao Shraddha, Adao in the beginning, first there should be faith. But actually even before faith, where do you get faith? You have to get faith. You get that from the association. Yeah, there has to be some contact with the devotees. Otherwise, you're not going to have faith. Faith will come only with the association. So initially there should be some contact with devotees, and that gives some faith. And that faith, faith having a little interest in what devotees are doing. You have some interest, maybe you read the book, you get a book and you take time to read it, take time to come to the program and sit and listen to the lectures, to the katha. You have some faith, and that faith, adaushadata sadhu sangha, brings us into the association more of the devotees, and we will want to associate regularly with the devotees. That's very much required for a devotee's spiritual progress. Some people say, I'll just stay at home and chant, but that's not going to be quite as effective as coming into the association of devotees. If you stay at home, you can say, I have the mobile network, we have everything available, I can be at home and hear everything. Yeah, sometimes you can do that, but you still need physical presence. It's very important. You can be at home, and so many other things are going on. There's so many distractions. You don't get quite the same attention. But when you come to the program and you sit there, then you have to give your pretty much full attention into the thing. Someone asked Srila Prabhupada, what's better, if I read the books and study the books on my own, or if I come to the lectures? And Prabhupada said, better you come to the lectures, because if you come to the lectures, then I can pull your ear. Right? Keep you awake, keep you attentive. But if you're at home, so many things are there, distractions, and you don't give quite the same attention. So it's important that association, physical presence is required. Teaching Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti B.V.V, we have the experience that the online classes are not quite as effective as the on-site. When you get the devotees on-site, when they come to Mayapur and they're there in Mayapur sitting in the classroom, it's much more effective than online. You can have 300 people online, but you don't know, quite what's going on and how much they're paying attention, how much is going in. It's not quite the same. But when you have a class and you can have just 10 people in the classroom, it's a much more dynamic experience. It's much more powerful and effective to teach on site than to teach online. When the COVID was there, we had no alternative. But now that COVID's passed, it's much better to get people to come together, actually be there and be with the devotees, than to just be sitting at home. So association with the devotees is important, and that association, actually physical presence, it makes quite a difference. It doesn't have to be for a long time, of course. They say, lavamatra sadhu sangi, association can be very brief. But we do need to have regular association, because in regular association there will be the opportunity for more hearing and discussion. So that is the process of Krishna consciousness, described in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna in the 10th chapter, we have the Chatur Sloki, and the 8th verse describes Sambandha Gyan, and then the 9th verse is Abhidaya. Abhidaya means the process of devotional service. And Lord Krishna describes the process that the thoughts of my devotees dwell in me, their lives are surrendered unto me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. So this is the process, this is Abhidaya, coming together in the association of devotees and associating. Association means topics of Krishna, discussing the topics of Krishna. Satam prasanga mama virya samvido bhavanti rit karana rasayana kata. In the 3rd canto, Lord Kapila is telling his mother Devahuti, because Devahuti is in difficulties. Her husband has gone away, renounced, and she was left with Lord Kapila. Of course, she's very fortunate. Her son is an incarnation of God, and he enlightens his mother, and he tells her the topics of Lord Krishna, when heard in the association of devotees, are very pleasing to the ear and to the heart. So not just to the ear, but the sound, the topic should go to the heart also. We should experience the change in heart, hearing the topics of Lord Krishna. Very satisfying and rewarding for us when we hear with proper attention. So this is described. This is sadhu sangha, and after coming in the association of devotees, we will be taught bhajan akriya, how to engage in the activities of devotion, how to engage the things we should be doing, like worshipping the deity, how to worship the deity. You know, people all have their own ideas how to worship. And some people collect deities, they have many deities. It's not really the process, you know. Better to have one deity and just simply worship that. So we encourage, you know, you want to worship deities, we encourage. Gaurnitai are very merciful. Very nice to worship deities of Gaurnitai. That we are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The movement, this is the movement of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya, he is giving us Sankirtan. So, and of course Lord Chaitanya is Mahabhadanaya, the most merciful of all of the incarnations of Krishna. We need mercy, we want mercy. You get the greatest mercy from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we like to worship Gaur Nitai. And Prabhupada said they are very merciful. He said you can worship them just by kirtan. So that's something very special. And we do encourage devotees, you know, bhajana kriya, devotional service. It is not just only reading the books and worshipping the deity, but kirtan is very, very important. To do kirtan. Have kirtan in your home, some kirtan every day if you get the family members together and have some kirtan, get them to chant together. That's very important. The family which chants together advances together. And if you advance together, you go back to Godhead together. So chanting is a part of bhajana kriya, the process of devotion. Well, we encourage the devotees, like people coming for initiation, you should know the songs which we are singing in the temples every day. Just like every morning we sing the Guru Vastika. So people should know these songs, we should know Guru Vastika, we should know Prabhupada's Guru Puja song, Guru Vandanam, and we should know the evening Arti, Guru Arti, you know. Usually the only prayer people know is Sarera Avityaja. Of course they always learn Chairataman, but somehow they learn, it's a short one, right? Very easy, one verse. But we need to know these songs, the different songs, and we encourage the devotees to know the meaning also. When we're singing these songs, it's a meditation. It's not just simply entertainment, but it's a meditation. And we want to know we should know the actual meaning of these songs. And Prabhupada would lecture on these different songs, like he would lecture on the Shikshastikam and the Guru Vastikam, Guru Vandana. You can read the lectures, Prabhupada explaining line by line the meaning of these different songs. So it's very important for us. This is bhajana kriya. This is the path of worshipping Krishna. We do these different activities. And we do them every day. You know, somebody said, oh, the same songs every day, why do we have to sing the same songs every day? But if you're meditating, if you actually understand the meaning of the song and you're meditating on it, it's not boring, but rather it's very enlivening. It's a way in which we can advance, because we meditate, we think about our service to Krishna, our service to Prabhupada. It's very important, very powerful for us. And so that's why we sing this sing song every day, because it's so powerful. It has so much in it to offer to Krishna, and for our own benefit, for our connection to Krishna and Guru. So bhajana kriya is very important, and usually bhajana kriya, during that time, that is when the people are recommended for diksha, for the initiation process. I was describing, when I got initiation, Prabhupada was just concerned that we knew his pranam mantra. And he gave us initiation. But he never really asked us any. Oh, sometimes we would go on morning walks and Prabhupada would say, what's that verse? Who knows that verse? He would be trying to train us, that we should know the slokas from the Bhagavad Gita and so on. And if somebody would sing a song, he would say, do you know the meaning? Somebody's singing something like Parama Karuna Pahudrijana. He said, do you know the meaning? And he wanted to say, unless you know the meaning, there's no benefit. Just singing and you don't know what you're singing about, that's not good. So bhajana kriya is a process by which we practice our devotion. And during that time, that's the time when people come forward for initiation. And nowadays, to get initiation and here in this place, there's a lot of requirements. It's not such an easy thing. And you have to have, well, first of all, everywhere in the world we have the ISKCON Disciple course, which is not a very big course. It's a short course, a few days course. or if they do it in the evenings, maybe in 1 week you can finish it. And many important points are introduced in the disciple course. And you can learn about, for example, how ISKCON functions and how the society is managed. And you can learn also about how to select a spiritual teacher, because everyone has an individual right to choose their spiritual teacher. Nobody is compelled that this is a guru, you have to take from him. Everyone has a right to choose who they want to accept initiation from. So all of these points are explained in the disciple course. And you learn also about practicing devotional service. You learn about the offenses in chanting the holy name and the different prayers which we sing and the meaning. And we learn also about Srila Prabhupada's position, which is very important. That Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya for the society. And all of the property is Srila Prabhupada. He's the founder Acharya. So when we get a property, we always put ISKCON and then we put founder Acharya, Bhakti, that his name has to be there. So Prabhupada wanted that, not that anybody could claim that they were the proprietor. Now everything is the property of ISKCON. So Prabhupada's position is very important. He is the Shiksha Guru for all the devotees. Everyone takes Shiksha from Srila Prabhupada. And we get the Shiksha, the instructions, we get the instructions from Prabhupada's books. Reading Prabhupada's books and also Prabhupada's different letters. Sometimes we will read, sometimes we will hear Prabhupada's interviews, and we have many videos of Prabhupada, sometimes giving lectures and sometimes walking with devotees and talking or discussing. So we learn from Srila Prabhupada, and we try to follow everything which Srila Prabhupada has said. So Srila Prabhupada, as the founder Acharya, he is the Shiksha Guru for everyone. But in addition to Shiksha, we need also to get Diksha. Diksha has to come from a living person. So Diksha means, Diksha is the process by which we get spiritual knowledge and remove sinful reactions. So this happens as we perform devotional service. It doesn't all happen in one night. Or just in one yajna. It's not taking away all the sinful reactions and and giving you all the jnana. It's going to take time. Initiation means the beginning, the serious commitment to the practice of devotional service. And then after initiation, then you go on to the next stage, which is called Anartha Nivritti. Means removing the dirty things from the heart. Artha means things of value. So anartha means the things of no value. So that what is it that has no value? Well, things like lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy, these kind of things. We don't need these things, right? We want to get rid of them. And this we do by practicing devotional service, simply by engaging in devotional activities, coming to the temple, bowing down to the deities, and offering obeisances to devotees, chanting the holy name, taking part in the kirtan, hearing the katha, and accepting the prasadam. All of these activities, they help us to remove the anarthas, the unwanted things from the heart. But everything will depend on the intensity with which we practice. The more intense we are, the more serious we are in practice, then we will try to remove these anarthas, to overcome the things which are blocking our heart. So anartha nivritti is a very demanding stage. It takes the longest, it takes the greatest effort to get through anartha nivritti. So one has to be very careful and very serious and committed to get through anartha nivritti. But once you get through that stage, then you would come to what is called nishtha, being steady or very fixed in your devotion. And once you get through anartha nivritti, then you can accelerate very fast. And from nishtha you can go on to ruchi, where you develop a taste for devotional service. We get a taste, and our taste, often our taste will depend on elements. Like when we go to a big temple with, you feel, this is the big temple with beautiful deities. And then sometimes you go to a little temple and somebody just has maybe a little altar, a picture in the cupboard or something like that. But ruchi can be there. If someone is got the higher taste, he can feel the pleasure just seeing a picture in the altar. And prasadam, somebody wants a big feast, so great, so opulent. And somebody else, you get a little khichdi. Wow, khichdi is prasadam, because they have ruchi, they have taste, so they value everything in relation to Krishna. It doesn't have to be a whole opulent meal, but just a little prasadam, tulsi leaves, is prasadam. And we can feel very happy, very satisfied, content that this is Krishna's prasadam. So that is ruchi, that's a higher level of devotion. And then after ruchi, then asakti, where we're committed completely to devotional service to Krishna. And we have no connection hardly with the material world. And then finally, after asakti comes bhava, and bhava is the beginning of prema. So you can see the different stages as they're described by Rupa Goswami. We want to understand these different stages that they can help us we can endeavor more to come to higher levels. In the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he describes how devotional service is in 3 stages. There's sadhana bhakti, devotional service in practice. There's bhava bhakti, devotional service in ecstasy. And prema bhakti, devotional service in love of God. So bhava and prema, they're way up at the top. They're very high, big. That's a journey to get up there to bhava. But the symptoms are described for us. There's different symptoms by which you can recognize if you're coming to that level of bhava. Like one is that we're very careful not to waste even a moment of time. We want to use every second for Krishna's service. And we're very attached to chanting the holy name and hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And we're very attached to living in the holy place, connected with Krishna's pastimes. These things, there are different symptoms are mentioned there. You can see in Nectar of Devotion. So that these are all symptoms of bhava. And bhava is just the beginning, which leads to prema. But like I say, they're very advanced, bhava and prema. We're concerned with sadhana, which is devotional service in practice. We follow the rules and regulations. Some people think, oh, you're so strict, you people, you have all these rules and that. We don't have a lot of rules, we only have 4 rules. It's not a lot of rules. One man told me, I was in a Buddhist country, in Thailand, and one man said, how many rules do you have when you're Hare Krishna? I said, we have 4 rules. He said, only 4? He said, you know, in Buddhism there's hundreds of rules, and you can hardly follow any of them. So that often happens, you know, you have a lot of rules and people don't follow it so well. But in civilized society, there will be rules. The more civilized the society, the more there will be rules and laws, principles, like yam and niyam. Yam is prohibitions and niyam, regulations. So there are yama and niyam, the first 2 stages of Astanga Yoga. There are prohibitions, things you don't do. And then there's regulations, things you have to do. And if you follow these things, you will make advancement. You'll get spiritual advancement. And what does that mean, spiritual advancement? It means you experience pleasure. You get a lot of spiritual bliss. You actually can feel the pleasure of the spiritual activities. And that pleasure is coming because we're becoming purified by these activities. The purification means getting rid of that calm and the crowd and the lobe and all the dirty things which are there in the heart. As they're removed, then we awaken our spiritual nature. And by our spiritual nature is to be joyful. We're meant to be joyful. But people are not joyful. You can see people are not so happy today. Even though they may live in an opulent environment, they may have a luxury home and everything, doesn't mean they're happy. Yeah? But if we understand our spiritual being, our spiritual self, we can be happy. That is the fact. And we can experience this happiness by practicing Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga you can practice in your home, you can practice anywhere. It's easier to practice in a center or with devotees together. Association makes you stronger, makes you more serious. On our own, we can do it a little bit, but often we compromise and we don't do it quite the same. But association is very helpful, very important. So we're encouraging all of you, you want to take advantage of that association. So, thank you very much. I won't take any more of your time. I think I've been speaking for a while. So if we want to finish here. Yeah, any question, anybody? Any doubts?
Any doubts?
Yes, Prabhu?
At least 7, 9 stages. All these are also parallel or is it like 7 stages? This overlap also.
Yes, are they going to overlap? Yeah. So you could say there'll be some overlapping, you get some taste, at some point you have a bit of nishta, but then sometimes there's still some anarthas, a little bit anarthas, sometimes You get rid of some anarthas, there's still a little bit more. It's like in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, eradicating almost to nil. Right? So there's still some things, there's still some overlapping as we go on. We can be doing anartha nivritti at the same time we're doing bhajana kriya. Bhajan has to go on, right? It's not that we stop everything and start just do anartha nivritti, but the whole process of anartha nivritti depends on bhajana kriya. That we get rid of these anarthas by doing devotional service. And we do need association, sadhu sangha, and faith, shraddha, that has to be there. So all these things are there all the way through as you go on. It's not like, oh, shraddha now, and then give up shraddha, and now sadhu sangha. No, but we need each one, we build on each one as we go on.
If one is doing that and still not initiated, how does that impact? Like, is it important that you progress in the next stage, in the initiation? If you're following the process, how does that work?
Once she's asking, if someone is not initiated, but they're still trying to do anartha nivritti and go to nishtha, will it only happen if one is initiated, or?
Well, will it only happen if one is initiated? Certainly, initiation is a help. It's a big help because you've made a commitment. You see, that's the difference. That without the initiation, you may be doing it, you're trying, but how far can you go on your own without that guidance without the direction? And it also, if you haven't taken the initiation, it indicates some lack of faith, that you haven't fully taken shelter of the devotee. But you've been hearing about these things, you're hearing about these different stages, and you're following. So who's guiding you? Who's giving you this knowledge? We have to recognize that somebody's been helping us, they've been making us aware of the process and the different levels which we have to go through. We didn't know about these things, but somebody's telling us about it. So maybe you read the book, alright? So then the book, the author of the book is your guru, right? So you're taking instructions, you are taking shiksha. So you have been taking shiksha, you have not yet taken the diksha. So you can go on like that, taking shiksha, taking the instructions, but if you have not taken the diksha, that indicates there's something, you've got some doubts, or you haven't got full faith in someone. You haven't found out yet who to put your faith in. So Lord Krishna does want to see that we have faith in the devotees also, not just in him. He said someone if Lord Krishna said, if someone said he's my devotee, he's not my devotee. But if he is a devotee of my devotee, then he is my devotee. So devotee of my devotee, it means, you have to commit yourself. We should take instruction, we should take the initiation, recognize someone as our official teacher, that he's taking a responsibility for us, to introduce us to Krishna. If you go back to Godhead on your own, Krishna said, who should guru? Well, I never took a guru. And then Krishna will say, why not? Lord Krishna himself had a guru. I am a guru, what happened? I never had a faith in someone. Oh, you didn't have faith in someone? Oh. That's not very good. Yeah, we have to have faith in someone. Find someone who can strengthen your faith and help you on the path of Krishna consciousness. As I said, initiation is mentioned as one of the angas of bhakti. If you read the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is in English the Nectar of Devotion, then Rupa Goswami describes 64 different ways in which we can practice bhakti yoga. The first 5 are all in relation to the spiritual teacher. The first 5 items. And one of them is taking initiation and taking instruction and serving a spiritual teacher. So it's very important. It's a part of the process of devotional service. And if you're not going to accept it, of course, as I say, you can take shiksha, but it mentions you have to take initiation. It mentions diksha there. It's one of the items of bhakti. So you have to do it.
Maharaj, Krishna's mercy is there all the time, but why it is not felt all the time? Only sometimes it is felt.
Prabhu is saying, why is Krishna's mercy not felt? It's always there. Why is it not felt all the time? Because you're looking some other place for mercy. You're not looking to Krishna for the mercy. You're ignoring him and looking to some other person for mercy. You're approaching other people. You're neglecting. We neglect Krishna. We turn away from Krishna. This is our problem. Krishna bhuya jiva anadir bhavya mukha itaiva maya taradeha samsara dukkha. That we look at the external energy. We look at the material world. We don't see Krishna. We just see Krishna's energy. We try to enjoy the energy instead of enjoying service to Krishna. Yeah, so it's our fault, our ignorance. Okay. All right.
Maharaj, like when it's said about anarth nivritti, sometimes in a sadhana, some anarth which feels, it's very tuchh. Again, after a few years, suddenly the anarth becomes very strong. So, is there a time where it's totally gone? Like a past anarth which we think is now no longer disturbing us, suddenly in due course of time it's again causing disturbance. So, is it always going to be like that? Or?
No, it doesn't have to be like that. No, definitely. We have to get rid of the anarthas. It means that if it comes back again, it means we didn't fully remove the anarthas. That's why it's coming back. So if we actually get to through the anartha nivritti, then all the anarthas, they won't come again. That is the power of bhakti. That it removes all the desire for sinful activity. They're all removed. So we have to come to the higher level of bhakti. If they're coming back again, then we're still in anartha nivritti. We have to be careful. It may be that we've committed something, we neglected something, we did something wrong, which brought more anarthas. We may have removed them, but somehow we neglected, we did something we shouldn't have done, and brought more anartha. Brought anartha again into the heart. Some negligence in our devotion. And then again the anartha comes. Okay, we'll have to stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Bhakti Vighna Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki Jai. So let us all thank Maharaj for coming here and giving his association and giving a wonderful nectarian class. This is really wonderful. It is for new as well as for already who are regularly coming. It is a great class which Maharaj has given. Really. So let us pray one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our attitude of gratitude to Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I thank each and every devotee here, even though it is a working day today, having come here and giving your association. And please come forward to take blessings from Guru Maharaj, but without touching his feet. Okay, that's more important.